So you need to start working on not just your, how can I say, like your product, but your personality, and the fact that you need to adhere to more what people want to feel, not just when they listen to you, but more of how you cater to them after the fact as well. Become more humble, become more warm to these environments, and I think that from that you'll start growing and developing more of a way where you can be as, how can I say, profitable, but profitable in your spirit as well as in your pocket. But it could be a longer lasting character of you online, as well as when this opens up to more like people in person, then you'll be justified in all the efforts that you've made. So take the steps to do that and become more than just thinking about like, money and all these things and fame, and just let people see your vulnerabilities as well.
100%.
So yeah, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. Be yourself and be easy with it.
We began as an open mic.
Young creatives simply wanting to express ourselves.
As we supported each other, we started to witness the greatest within.
And without knowing, we grew into a talent hub.
As we began to detail our craft,
we found the courage to share our gift with the world.
From merchandise to the sold-out theatre productions.
To all the amazing people we met and collaborated with along the way.
The process of creating art helped us overcome our fears.
by teaching us
The power of art. We are here to tell you.
We're here to tell you.
We're here to tell you.
We are here to tell you.
We are here to tell you.
it's possible.
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 I'm Chad Isaacs, and this is Raw.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very, very special guest in the house tonight. This man is one of the best content creators the Mother City has ever seen. He is responsible for things like Yacht Noma's Dance Academy. He's responsible for things like Avengers Kaapstad. And my personal favorite, the singer-songwriter of the song I'm Never Gonna Dums Again, one of the founders of Sip and Simon, Mr. Simon Orgill. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. I wasn't ready for that.
Thank you, brother, for being here.
No problem. Yes,
Listen, brother, you've been on a fabulous journey. I've been following you for a long time. Can I just say that I'm a huge fan of yours?
Thank you.
What a lot of people don't know about you is off camera, you are an exceptionally nice guy. Let me
I'm just chill. I'm just normal. I'm
super
just
chilled, nice guy. So, bro, where does this drive to create this content come from? This relatable content come from?
I don't know. Like I remember at the beginning with Sip and Simon, before it started, there was like obviously a lot of different content creators out at the time. And I remember obviously it was like Devon and Chucky, and there was Life with Emmy, and it was a small space at the time when we came out. But we didn't feel there was like a southern suburbs type of representation. And I'm like, I've seen all these things, but I don't feel like any of these things like sit with me. And I saw what people were laughing at, and I'm like, nah, man, we can do something as well in this space. So from that, with Sip, who's obviously super technically gifted with like, can I say, like production and understanding all those things, and I had to learn about that. And then as far as I was trying to make random stuff up. And it was lekker just to improvise and to make lekker content. I don't know how to say anything else, but it was also very, very tough, I guess, because it was like 5 memes a week, 1 a day.
Wow.
As well as weekly content, coming up with new things and trying to obviously just push and push. It was a lekker time. Yeah.
People like on the streets was comparing it to like Key and Peele, which at the time was like an international phenomenon, and I think that was probably one of the biggest compliments that you could get as comedy sketch artists.
I don't even think that's even possible. But like, hey, Aaron, I mean, what the hell? Like, there's no way to compare something that they did, which was like, worldly, like, I don't know, it's like content like the best of the best. But I mean, like I don't even think that there's any way to compare what they achieved to us. But thank you for that. But for me it was always like I always enjoyed like the English type of like the Monty Python, those types of things. That was really my influence in this whole the Mitchell and Webb look. I used to be very invested in watching a lot of comedy and different ways of doing the things in not the 9 o'clock news was another one. So it was very, very diverse in looking at content and trying to create new things as well. But again, like I feel like with regards to everything that happened, everything is kind of like derivatives of something anyways. A lot of people think like, oh, you're stealing this or you're doing that or you like this is just that in a different way. But it's all influence, man. You know what I mean?
100%.
And we're just kind of paying dues almost.
Of course. And I think, because I mean, I'm not a comedy sketch artist and a great content creator like you are, but I mean, I can maybe speak from a place of artists, right? And I mean, you see so much artists that are influenced by other artists, and it's not the form of copying. Maybe in the very beginning stages when they're small, but that almost acts as a midwife to their actual talent, you know. So for instance, if you watch interviews of Michael Jackson in his day, you will say that he's so influenced by James Brown. And I think that's the beauty of creating is that we sort of take the best and create the rest kind of vibe. And that's what it's about, right? It's not about copying. It's just about you inspired me to do this. You know what I mean? And I
feel the same with regards to that. It's like a lot of people also like say, they just want to be like fuck Devin, man. Like Devin and us, we did like a completely different way of doing the things. And Devin is like a lekker. Like whenever we hang out and stuff, it's always a fun thing because you get to experience people like on a different level, and he's easy as well, and he's worked super hard to get to good hope as well. So always, it's been a long journey because I mean, we used to be like I can say content rivals, but it's fun though. And also like the content change. We used to use like musical cues in our like hit somebody like bang or like dun dun dun. We used to have all those things, and I'm so happy that is over because it felt like a cheap shot of things that we used to do like. Ding, like when you get like a surprise or something. But I mean, that was the time. It was like 5 years ago, but now it's so different because TikTok and all these things. The other day I met a girl who had 800,000 followers on TikTok, and I'm like, yo, that's insane. And it's like again, it's changing.
Cape Town chick.
Yeah.
Gee, what?
My other brother's friend, he has over 200,000. He's 16 years old, and he gets paid to do TikTok lives and stuff like that. So it's like these things are moving and it's changing. So yeah, it's always good to. Like, I don't feel like resentful or anything about it. It's like bless up and it's time for the new school.
Yeah. So I mean that's a great segue into the next question for guys that are coming up, right? What advice could you give them when it comes to sort of developing and generating and sort of packaging their online content in your own personal experience?
I'm gonna obviously speak from the beginning. It wasn't fine-tuned at all. It was about discovering what works, what doesn't work, and it was shit. The first ones, in my opinion, like this one's like that I can't even watch today because I'm like, yo, Simon, you were so cocky. How did you get to? Why did you even write that? It's so dumb. But again, like I will never ever shut it down because experience and learning and improving, it's all like with life. You get better and you understand what you did wrong and you can fix it and you go on. So that's one thing I always say is like, don't expect to get it right first time. But that's with anything in life. Don't expect to just hit the ground running. Don't expect to be a prodigy at 12 or 14. Not everybody can be Lionel Messi or something.
100%.
And I know that because there's way more people that's better than me, and that's okay with me as well.
100%.
So yeah, so don't put too much pressure on yourself. Be yourself and be easy with it, and don't also like run after the thing because if you run after it, you're gonna lose a lot of stuff. Which I did learn is like by chasing content creation because obviously it got very big very fast, and then you also kind of want to prioritize this over things that are also important: family, friends, relationships. And that's also why I don't do like weekly videos and stuff anymore. Because I need also some time to afkoel, to have a beer,
Of
which I'm
course.
doing at the same
What's the
time.
United
the other day.
game?
But, unfortunately.
Which is more stressful.
Yeah. But it's like, take breaks. But again,
Yeah.
like when you have that hunger, it's a lekker thing. But you're also only seeing what you want to see, and you're forgetting what's on the outside here. You know what I mean?
So do you think that you just everything needs to be within context? So for instance, like you need to understand that okay, this is the way I make money, and that's cool, and this is the way I express myself, and that's cool, and the two go hand in hand. It's not this either or kind of vibe.
Well, when you speak about money, do you mean like within content creation?
No. I just mean like whatever you do.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like it doesn't
okay.
have to be like I'm either going to be a poet or I'm going to work for the city. Do you know what I mean? It's like why can't you do both?
Yeah. That's what I liked to do I found that I was very inspired to actually do things. And I remember like my mom was like, why didn't you go do acting or do an instrument or something? And I was like, nah, I'm a need for that. I don't want to do that. I'm going to go lamb with my friends and do that. But again, hindsight now, I'm like, I wish I'd played the instrument. I wish I'd gone and did drama or something like that. Maybe I would have been in a different place right now. But again, I'm in my place now and I'm fine. You know what I mean? But it's also like... you can thrive like within Sip and Sam and all these things. Done improv comedy, did singing, did dancing.
Yeah.
I'd never ever let myself be defined because I hate that things. And it's like you don't have to always be defined by like one thing. Don't be like, nah, he's a man who's by the gym. He's the man who's got the lekker kuite. Fuck that. Like, you know what I mean? Now you have to maintain that. And I also find a lot of that also with regards to excess.
Yeah.
It kind of traps you. It's regards to like always looking before. It's always looking like a shoe on or something like that. And the thing is that sometimes kak don't work out. And then you've maintained something and now you're going to try to keep it up and stuff like that. And it's going to be to your detriment. Rather just keep it simple, have fun, and just get on with it. It's really, really that easy. Be nice to people. That's all it is.
The tagline for this specific podcast is going to be sometimes kak don't work out.
That's true.
I think that is absolute genius. Did you read Simon Orgill's new book? Sometimes kak does not work out.
You know, that
It's
to be
changed my life. I'll never be the same man again.
That's true. Man. We make block of ourselves within ourselves, and then we loop ourselves first. That's true.
So obviously with this whole pandemic, you know, a whole lot of different things have been happening, you know, specifically in the creative industry, and it's sort of given birth to new forms of online content, right? And online web platforms, right? How can artists, you know, sort of maximize these new platforms? And then the question after that would be, how would they maximize it, but also set themselves apart from everyone else, in your own personal opinion?
Sure. Like the thing is that we have to also like, and this was a big part for me because I don't know if you know, but for the first like month or two when COVID obviously came out and you saw what is happening in the world, loss of life and just pandemics, like you were scared and everything. You thought like, oh my God, I'm living in a Mission Impossible movie. Or this is something that just only happens like in the movie. And I was not in a space to create. And eventually I got out of that. But it's also that you have to realize that things are happening to people and not in a way to capitalize on this, but to cope through this.
100%.
So to help people through laughter. So when you position it in your mind that, okay, you're providing some relief mentally for people, then that is also a lekker way to help. And then that people were asking me what's happening and stuff. And I was honest with them because I said, like, right now I don't feel like making anything. I didn't feel like posting memes. I didn't feel like making videos because I was completely sad with the loss in the world that was happening. And then eventually, like, things, like, obviously it's still a pandemic. It's still lost. Thousands of people have died. And I'm still in that space a little bit, but I kind of knew that I had a responsibility to also help cope. And for me, a coping mechanism is also comedy.
Laughter, of course.
And so, yeah, I just kind of wanted to help. And I think that was a way that I coped with it a little bit. But if for people to maximize their way of it is like, don't look at it as a way to benefit off of COVID. Look at it as a way to bring people laughter and make people happier when times are tough in the world. So it's always positioned like that in your mind, not to actually exploit the situation or anything like that.
100%. So I mean, what the highlight of that was beautifully put, brother. I think the highlight of that is like do something that's not only going to serve yourself, but more importantly, serve others. I think that's the highlight of
just bring them some joy during these times.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, if your craft is not comedy or sketching or things like that, it can as long as it's beneficial, as long as whatever you're putting out there is bringing people relief and bringing out the best in people. I think that's what we're trying to, and that's what I love about your work, bro. And through the pandemic and when you started those words, bro, like. I think I did when I messaged you, I just like, bro, like what you're doing is amazing. Like it's so important for us as a culture to laugh, you know, and I believe that we need to be able to sometimes even just laugh at ourselves, Brian, and not take things too serious.
Did you feel like sometimes when you're like lying alone and then you like remember that thing that you did when you were in Standard 5 and you just cringe like that and you're like, yeah, why did I do that? Like I really love those types of moments
all the time in the shower, and I would just say fuck.
Yeah, like you would just shout fuck. But I did it like this weekend. I was doing it a lot. I'm like, why am I in my mind?
This happens to me once a week, no? This memory. On my wedding day, I walked into a glass fucking door. And
did you break it?
No, unfortunately,
okay.
Yeah, it did break me, however, and I needed to get 5 stitches. On
shit!
Yeah, so but it was cool. It was kind of cool because, well, not cool for my wife. So I'm gonna tell the story very quickly because this is your time. But so what happened is, our wedding planner says like, listen, like she wants to speak to me, so we go outside and she tells me, listen, we won't be able to open the skylight because the wind is too bad. I was in town. Daylight Studios, cool. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. Let me just chat to the wife, right? And I go the other way, and it bangs. And she's like, "Oh, you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." She's like, "No, you're not fine." And there's like this massive scar, like this massive cut in my head. And then obviously I have to go to the emergency unit. So I go to the emergency unit. I'm like there, like all suited up, whatever. So 30 minutes and I'm back. And driving back to the place, I'm sick of thinking like, this people is gonna say like, yo, what happened to this bra? Is kak stupid or whatever, my bro. I come back now. This man just dancing. They didn't even know I was gone, bro. And my wife is like super, you know, she's gone. She had a few shots.
Was the pictures done already, no?
Most of the pictures, but obviously we still had to do the first dance, and then I did like they opened the light and they did the dance, and I was like this cat looking like a pirate. Yes. But yeah, Bruce. So my point is about once a week I just think about that and I'm like fuck. So yeah, that does happen, of course.
It's like when someone is waving to someone behind you, then you wave at them, and then you're like, oh. Shit. Just put the hand back again.
Yo, bro, it's so awkward, bro. So awkward.
Yeah, and you know my brother Andrew as well. Yeah. So we had a sliding door back at the old place, and we always walk the sliding door all the time. So that is like easy.
Like we need to, as a human race, we need to find a solution for that sliding door problem.
My mommy ended up putting up stickers, give me hugs, not drugs, across the thing. She was always crazy about that.
Did you listen to those stickers, Simon?
I don't know. I'm not going to comment. What I'm going to say, we would have to go through our youth in different ways.
We never got lots of hugs. I'll tell you that much. So you know, moving forward now into you know, we almost at the end of the year. Gee, it felt like we didn't even start. But what are some of the things that are coming up for Simon?
For me, yes, I am going to be. I'm going to be on live. Well, not me. A friend of mine, DJ Clive, is going to be on live streaming. He's going to be on this event. He's going to have his own show soon on one of the streaming platforms. I don't want to say it yet because I still have yet to sign the contract. But it's only for like a once-off thing. But it's going to be like it's fun to live through DJ Clive, who's very inspired by my Topi, as well as Andrew. Quite. He loves his Fat 69, he loves his jazz music. Yeah. And he's going to be DJing and talking to some of the old DJs, like just about like how was Club Lennon, and talking about like, again, like Browns and all those types of things. And again, like, that's going to be fun for me because I enjoy it because I've grown up
in that.
Yeah, with us Owens and like my brother-in-law, Connie, he was one of Double Trouble, and they used to like DJ everywhere, and it was a liquor time, and I enjoyed speaking to them about it because it's completely different to how it is now.
So listen, like what are some of the clubs that Simon Orgill used to just have a great time in?
You know this,
Let's
man.
drop-
I'm
let's-
pretty sure it's the same clubs. It's going to be Atmosphere.
Chili Bar?
Yeah, Chili Bar, of course. but
Plan B.
Atmosphere, Taboo. Used to be Liquor Deluxe, used to be nice.
Oh, deluxe
Bermuda.
dates, no?
Obviously Galaxy, which I hear is being sold, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But yeah, there used to be a lot. But obviously Vibe was one of my favorite ones. The 12 hours were legendary. Selling in the
Dockside,
line.
no? Were you-
Yes,
oh,
Dark
okay.
Dockside for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like
Yo,
there's
the
so
lights
many.
were like Winter
The light
Wonderland.
show
That
was
was like
crazy.
insane, bro.
I remember the first time there was that foam party, and then
Sure.
you were in it and you were not, but then you realized, nah, it's cold, and after a while you just like stand on the side because you're like, nah, this isn't actually worth it. Now I'm just go in Canal Walk and wait till my mommy fetch me. Like,
Yeah, and then explain why you wet because you told her that you're going to the Tanga.
yeah, exactly. Nah, monkey fools,
Monkey
mommy.
balls, yeah. Yo, I still remember when I went to Dockside for the first time. I still had one of those Nike tracksuit pants with the buttons, my bro. Do you remember that, my bro?
Yeah.
Yo, God, man.
Did they let you in?
Yeah.
No, lekker. But this was an under 16 party. You were loving there with your Fanta, but I was so amazed that years after I found that people were saping and doing drugs there. I didn't like,
Yeah.
because that wasn't even in my mind then when I was 15, 16.
The only thing was that jazz room with all the inches. That's what, people smoked.
I never for the jazz room. I was always in the rave. I was always on the rave floor.
Quite. That for me, Dockside was probably one of the best clubs I've been to in terms of just like the lasers and the lights and yo, it was mad. And we remember when Ready used to dude,
The
yo,
G&G
that was-
pros, those were fun. Those were really fun.
super. That
I still
was-
have a CD of it, but it's so fucking scratchy. But I just keep it for nostalgia.
So what does Simon Orgill do for fun?
It's the same thing as normal. Like I just like braaiing, I like lamming with my brassa. Love talking about the same story every single time. If we say we talk about when we won the knockout under 17. And we talk about this person that we are there now. But it's almost like we just smart to talk about the same thing because it's easier. Because we have nothing new to talk about. But we come into the same party for 20 years and you know what? The dope still tastes good. But it's lekker, man. I like family time. I like obviously still chilling. I don't go to festivals so much anymore. I mean, no one's getting to festivals now anymore. But I used to enjoy Rockin' Daisies, but now I just like, I don't smack to walk around anymore. I wish I could have one of those wheelchairs that can just drive me around or something.
Or that other one, man, the ones with was it one wheel? And it's just like,
The Segway thing.
Yeah.
It's weird, man, because...
Well, people have become really lazy now.
Yeah, I put on so much weight during lockdown as well. But I'm trying not to eat better, but I think the damage is done. Fuck it.
So where do you know, like when you're coming up with these with these concepts, with these comedy sketch concepts, where do you draw like that sort of motivation and that ideas from?
I don't know, like
because you say you're a really humble guy, right? But I'm sure like a lot of people will agree with me when I say you are talented in that specific field.
I don't know, it's weird, like, and thank you firstly, but the thing is that it's like I put my mind in a place, and then just because I've trained it to do this over the years now, and then I start spitting out what I think these people are going to be like, what happens there, or I'm watching something and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember this and stuff. How can I expand on this now? And I thought again, like it's very granular. Like I'll start making a spider diagram. I'll start building it out. I'll start thinking about it. And some things are not even written. It's just in my mind for a long time. And then be like, okay, I'm gonna do this now. Like I enjoy doing the torpy ones where it's like a long skitted 5-minute ones.
Yeah.
But that is such a thing to get out. And to be honest with you, my final cut is terrible at the moment because it keeps crashing. So every time I do an update and then it kind of breaks down, and then I don't lose anything, but I have to restart it every single 5 minutes. So it's why I'm busy on the shorter form of how can I say, comedy at the moment. But I want to do more longer, but it frustrates me too much. I have to sit honestly like for 4, 5, 6 hours to do one skit, and that is just post-production, and it's too long.
If there's anyone out there that's listening to this, can we, or even if it's not like legit, can you please organize a crack version of Final Cut?
That's the thing,
or
man.
a new laptop for.
It's a new laptop.
we don't need the papers.
But it's just,
this guy's creating mad magic here.
What's
We
this
need to
thing
give him
called?
the tools.
It's Catalina. It's a new OS. Ugh, it's working on my nerves.
Bro. I know nothing about computers, so I mean that's not my field. Listen, bro, in terms of all the content that you've created, and for people that are just listening and not sure who Simon Orgill is, firstly, you must not be from Cape Town. And secondly, go on YouTube, type Sip Simon or Simon Orgill in, you'll find this guy's work, right? Super funny stuff. One of my favorite ones is the one where the brat tries to be Kwaiman with the mut. But I'm watching the soccer. That one where you like, and then right at the end, I'm doing a bad job, but right at the end, like it's like this two brass alarming. I'm taking my thumbs in my cooler box and you're laughing outside. That was probably one of the, because you know brass are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably one of them.
Yeah, that's the owns like the soccer ball with him.
Yeah.
So I'm done playing now. Many times.
Yeah,
the thing
many
is that
times.
I used to be that like.
So my question for you, my brother, is which was your favorite comedy sketch that you came up with? Your personal favorite?
With Sip and Simon.
Or just anyone? Maybe let's do one of each.
I really enjoyed Judge Gerald Abrams. It was one of my favorite things when I wrote Sip as the judge. It was really fun. Got to work with lekker people, and just through a lot of these things, got to work with amazing Owens. And who say Yasin?
Yasin Bonds.
No, not him. I don't care him.
Yeah, he's
not a fan, but I do have a show with him every Thursday.
Yeah.
But not a fan of his personally.
He's taught me nothing.
Yeah, if I had to see him in the street, I would walk on the other side of the street.
Not because you didn't want to acknowledge him, because he'll probably rob you.
No, he's got funny legs, man. I'm gonna say, but with regards to, there's so many with Sip and Simon, but famous moments in current history. I remember I was taking a popo, and then I came up with the creation of the Swilkos. And that's one of my favorite ones that I've ever written. And still this day, I still love it. And obviously, like songs like Never Gonna Dance Again.
Yeah.
And there was another song that we did as well, man. It's just, there's so many. There was Yat Numbers 1, 2, and 3. There was Africa Blaze. There was so many.
The collaborations was awesome for me, and I love seeing that. I love seeing people from different spheres coming together to create a piece of art.
Yeah.
That's what collaboration is all about, and the way that you did that with dancers, with comedians, with Owens from YGN was what inspired that?
Oh, he's a one Muffin Man.
Yeah, with Muffin, the only guy who can DJ and cut hair at the same time.
That was so funny because we were in it wasn't Bangor then. What is the new place name of Bangor? Loft. We were at the Loft. So who was it? Ryan was in charge of the Loft now.
Yeah.
And then he said, yeah, you can come use the space. So I was like, salute, we can do something. And then it was myself, Yasin and Sip. And then Muffin was just lambing there, cutting hair. And then his brother Leroy was also just lambing there. And who knew that he was going to do that whole gala dance at the end. And that was ridiculous. And I remember Jerry was also there. And we came up with that. And it was so much fun just to kind of just do that in like random stupid stuff. But again, with collaboration and stuff, managing people, managing time, it's very, very tiring. It's very, very long hours, as well as getting the right scenes, because if you forget something, then it's really, really tough, because it's not even like a paid for thing or something. There's no reshoots. So making sure that you also, like, how can I say, like, figuring out like what are the scenes that you need to get, that also becomes more development time and stuff like that. So a lot of people think like, oh, this just happens and stuff. Nah, there's so much that goes into it. Even if someone makes it look easy, like, nah, you just go stand there and this and that, because you have to get the cut scenes. You have to make sure that the handle touches the door at this time, and then you're getting into the car and all those things, that it looks correct. Because perfection is also a good thing to have on your side. Some people are messy, some people aren't messy, but I'm very pedantic about stuff as well. But at the moment, I'm just trying to make it as seamless and as easy as possible. And that is just through making my product as easy and stuff as possible. I do want to do more, but I'm tired of the graphing and stuff. Maybe
I can imagine. Do you, after you've created something, right?
I don't watch it again.
Okay.
It's
Really?
out there. It's out there and it's done.
Okay, so after let's paint a scenario. So after you've written it, you've created the content, you filmed it, you've edited it, and you put it out into the world. Do you feel, once you've put it out, do you feel like you need to get, because you have obviously I'm sure that you have like this metric in your mind to sort of say more or less how strong you how you feel this content should impact people, or how much people should sort of gravitate towards this piece of art or content. Do you get discouraged when you don't get that same amount of likes or shares or comments?
Oh no, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't use hashtags. I don't use any of those things. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's how it is. I don't like to measure myself based on that. I'm just like that I can make people laugh. If it gets 1 share, 2 shares, that's fine with me. If it doesn't, if it gets 1,000. And I know I'm making it sound like very simple, because most of my stuff, well, not most of my stuff, a lot of the stuff gets like 1K plus shares, and that's fine. But I've also put in a lot of work to create an audience that does like my things, that I'm confident in my product. But at the same time, if you track back, it's with Color Poetry, with Sip and Simon, with me and my memes and stuff like that. I don't like to rely on the things that they teach you to utilize to amplify your content.
Yeah.
Because it's not actually about that. It's like if you're accepting it, or if people like it, and if they appreciate it, then it's going to be good. If the content's good, then it's good. If it's not, then it's not. Don't try and camouflage it with these other things that it's not. Not to be nasty about it, because some people use a lot of post-edit production and think they're liquor cameras. And I've seen this happen where they'll get like a quiet team in, and then somebody can just sit with their phone and say something that's 2 seconds long and get like 300,000 views.
Just because you say that, you're all fired. We're just getting a phone and we're filming this whole motherfucking thing.
Man, it just goes to show. What I always believe in is that content has to be the backbone of the
priority.
The production, if it's there or not there, shouldn't actually matter.
100%. So my next question would be then, for people that are creating content, that maybe just have, like we all started out a small budget. What are the core things that they would, need to prioritize? So content number one. What are the other things in your personal opinion?
The thing is that it's like so easy technically wise right now. It's just that again, like we spoke about TikTok earlier on, as well as now you have what's it called, Instagram Reels have come out now as well.
Yeah,
it's never been easier to find your technology side and to download phone editors and things like that. I mean, just look at Userik, who I know for many years as well now. He uses his phone almost all the time, and you can see that he's acclimatized to his audience, as well as the fact that he has a belief in him that's been instilled just because of it. And his post-production, sometimes he goes all out, like when he does videos for brands and things like that. But most of the time he's doing his PSAs, which are so relatable and so lekker, because you hear him speaking from the heart, that it's the content that's the backbone.
100%.
Again, he's just using a phone. So it's never been easier to create content. And if you bang, then stop being bang, man. Just do this, guy.
Like people take the step.
Yeah, people send me like the ideas and stuff. Now you must do this, you must do that. And a lot of the time people don't understand that I do this also just to escape a bitchy from normality, and because I'm smart to do this. So I encourage them, like, look here, I do this for this, but I also want you to also just take the chance and have fun with it. Don't be worried about this or that or whatever, but like, come on, man. So you have the first step,
from a business aspect, would you look at engagement or responses from audience as one of two things? So if you're not getting the engagement and the responses that you desire, could it either be one, your content is not up to scratch, right? Or two, you're not marketing to the right people? Would you agree with that? When you say business, do you want to just clear that up? So from a data point of view, man, from a point of view of this is how I'm progressing in my content. This is how I'm increasing my followers. This is how I'm increasing my brand presence within the industry. Like looking at it from that way, not from a creative perspective, purely, from an administrative point of view. So it's going to be like a brand perspective. Brand. Let's say brand. It's very tough for brands to do that, because again, you're looking at brand identity. And I will tell you that now,
and a lot of the time, I stopped working with brands because, unfortunately, as soon as someone sees you working with a brand, it dilutes your content because now there's product placement, and whatever your narrative is or whatever you are going to be talking about is centric on what they are selling to the people and want to be enlarged. So it's not even ever going to be helpful to utilize it. And again, with something with brands, especially how can I say the juvenile way that they do think, and I'm working with brands coming up at the moment, so I better
So
watch
we'll
how I
cut this
speak.
out.
But it's like you want the people, but the people like people who are authentic. But now you make the content, the person can't swear, they can't be natural. They have to kind of change their vibe to satisfy the brand, and that is never appreciated by anybody unless they're getting cut for free. To be honest.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Dude, you are giving the guys out there that are coming up so much context, and you are giving them so much information and knowledge from your experience that it's so important. How can these guys coming up make money from what they're doing? Like, obviously, we all know from the beginning it's about taking the first step. It's about trial and error. But let's say they've been doing it for 3 years, and I think my question should be, how do they maintain their authenticity while making money?
You're looking at somebody who measured how much money was invested, and I'm looking like, I bought cameras, I bought sound equipment, I bought all these things. So this thing runs at a loss if you count electricity and all the food I'm eating. If you're looking at it as a business. So the thing is that I realized after a while, like, oh cool, we can leave our jobs, you can do all this gag. No money for that. It don't work. So you unfortunately need to be subsidized with a job. And unless you are massive, unless you can maintain this in a different style, and you can get sponsorships and things. But unfortunately, you have to be rich. And look at me, I'm very ugly, and that's okay. I've made my peace with it, and it's not going to. It's never ever going to be that in South Africa yet. And the unfortunate thing is that with the TikTok and things, it makes it much more competitive and things in the market, especially with regards to how many kids are coming up now and with followings, because again, it's going to be massive. Like I met somebody again, like I told you earlier on, with almost 1 million followers. And what happens now is that it drives a market, and once there's a market, it's gonna make it competitive. So what's gonna happen is that we won't take you, we can take someone else who's gonna have just as much reach as you, but for less money. So again, now you see that this bottom line starts dropping and dropping. It's not going to be real, but again,
no. This is important information.
Yeah. So again, like you have to make your niche, you have to understand it, and again, like I'm not made that much money. That's why I need a job. That's why I have to go ahead and do these things, because I want fiber. I want to be able to play my PlayStation and play my games and do all these things, you know. So unfortunately, I don't think we are there unless you again start doing things like on YouTube and becoming massive, 100%. Getting those things out there. But again, I've not ever graduated to that. But again, people think that I'm very, very open, but I'm mostly just lumming at home, eating a bowl of cereal and just lumming easy.
So what I want to explain to people, right, is that, I mean, I've said this on the show and we spoke about it a little bit off air, is that it's okay. It doesn't have to be a either or, right? It could be this. I think for life, there's no one size fits all for me. There's just a thing of, does what I'm doing bring out the best in me? And if that is you doing, if you beatboxing full time and you're making enough money to sort of just get by, if that makes you completely happy and if that makes you treat other people with kindness and compassion, that's for me. If you're working, for the government and you are, you a painter, and you don't have to sort of make business decisions about your painting to your own detriment of your art and your creative process, because you have the stability of a job and that makes you a good person and treat other people with compassion and kindness, then that's great with me also. So for me, there never has to be a formula, right? I think that's also part of the problem. As long as whatever you're doing it with the right intention. And Simon Orgill, I think you're one of those gentlemen.
I do. Like it's almost like I put I nipped the inches there, like I nipped, but I didn't do that. What I'm trying to say is like again, like you have to realize that there's so much opportunity right now as well. You can become insta famous in a second, you see, or like how can I say, like TikTok famous again. There's so much space, there's so much movement, there's so much opportunity that, again, like, the world is your oyster right now. There's so many platforms. You can go into streaming on Twitch, you can stream on YouTube, you can become anything you want. And again, that wasn't available. And like I'm almost like saying like I'm cack old, but I'm not even that old. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like right now, if you were 18-year-old or something, it's
like you can make grown like if you're 14 now.
Like I don't understand how they still in school because I was dope long time ago. I'm so happy that I'm not in school with all the stuff is available, like Twitter and all these things. I'd have failed, man, my puss. Nah, for real. I almost failed matric because I was playing a Mafia. I don't remember that game. I used to play it every day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Was it the one that was similar to Hitman? Was like,
it's just like that kind of FPS. That was liquor.
Are you a gamer?
I play somewhat. Like Warzone, and I've been playing Fall Guys now lately. And obviously Fortnite, but Fortnite just frustrates me because there's so much sweats on it.
What about FIFA? That's the only one that
I
play.
we play pro clubs as well, but that's when you play the brasser, then it's like everybody
tournament, but what?
Nah, everybody has their own player, and then there's like 11 Owens on the team versus other Owens, but it's again it becomes super competitive, and you kind of like just become frustrated with gaming because everybody starts sweating.
So, it sounds like you do so much normal things, right? So you're like a normal guy, and I think that's probably the reason when you're generating all this content that it's so relatable, because it's not about you kind of thinking, okay, if I was that person, that's what I would do. It's just like, I'm that person, this is what I do. And I think there's a massive difference between that sort of thinking and doing kind of vibe, because whenever I watch your content, it's like, I have an uncle like that. I know it. Uncle Phil or Uncle John or Uncle Greg or, Uncle Dion is probably...
We have liquor uncles. Yeah. Oh, a lot of them have passed away, but rest in peace to the legends. Oh, yeah. But, it's fun to be relatable like that. And I enjoy it because it's just me going through the motions. And I like that.
Do you as any of your content, and you can be honest with us on the show, any of your content, has it been some of let's say you put out a skit about uncles and they've seen it and then they've contacted you, hey Simon, have you ever got something like that?
What you mean, like bad? Like
bad
trolls?
Yeah, like no, I'm saying, like, let's say you created the skit and it was so realistic, right? That actual person saw it and then messaged you and was like, are you trying to make fun of me?
Nah.
Never.
A lot of people have sent me clips of like their mommy or their uncle or their daddies. And it's so weird because not to have an audience like that. It's just not like it's like, how can I say, like 30 to 50 or even older, because it's fun for me because I enjoy speaking to the older men, so it's really, really fun for me. I talk about liquor stuff, and it reminds me of like when you were running around by your uncle's place and your parents were there drinking a bowls and rocks or something. It's fun, man. I enjoy chilling with the elders and like the uncles and stuff. So I appreciate it. But with trolls and stuff, they are terrible. Like the men who will say like, oh, you're not even carried, look how fair you are, and if you don't, it's because there's
sorry, but if you don't think Simon Orgill is colored, we were just outside and he was smoking a Rothmans.
That is
so.
But
sorry, you see diverse. Sorry, brother.
No, I mean we have different because Cape Town is so divided that there's like Malay, there's like also different communities, because you go to Ocean View, you go to Sea Winds, you go to the Chachis, you even go to like southern suburbs, and you go to northern suburbs. Again, everybody has different adventures and things and different ways of doing it. That's why it's like, again, like I remember I was on this panel for comedy after the Africa comedy thing. It was at the comedy warehouse in town, whatever it's called, Cape Comedy.
The comedy club.
Comedy club, yeah. And so there was a question about how do we speak to everybody, and you can't speak to everybody. Again, we have like how many different languages, and then again divide that by different age demographics, then again demographics by gender, all those things, and then like it's, you can't speak to everybody almost. The reason why America and like the UK and things can do it is because it's standardized, and they 100%. Have also how can I say, like income that is subsidized and stuff like that. So again, we have to think about different ways, and it's so good that there's a diverse group of people creating content for for many people, and I appreciate that we are all like who we are. And it's not an easy model because they can just make a model in the UK that can be accepted much more faster than us.
Of course.
Just because the standardization of language makes everything much more simpler. But again, we don't want that. I appreciate
the diversity.
what we have.
I think it is pretty cool because I mean when you travel and you go to other countries, like they will look at you like you weird because I mean in a lot of other countries, like if you go to China or you go to like maybe Finland, like they look the same, you know, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just saying like everyone looks different, people speak different languages, and I think there's a lot of beauty in that.
Yeah,
there's a lot there's a lot of content in that alone.
Yes. No, I agree. But I mean, again, I'm oversimplifying with the UK because, again, you'll know there's like different areas where they call things like they call a beer Betty or something like that. You know what I mean? And it's like it's go to different regions.
That can get complicated when you say I had one too many Bettys.
Yeah, or like there's a drill crew or something. You know. So yeah.
So you've obviously you've sort of through your journey rubbed shoulders with some of the best in the business, you know, and you've developed quite a sort of name within the community. I'm sure that you'd probably disagree because you're a humble guy, but a lot of people do know who you are.
Unfortunately for them, yeah.
Can you? Because bro, if you have trolls, then people must know who you are. If you have haters, then you're on the right path.
There's always haters.
Yeah. Can you tell us briefly just about the journey and the transition between you know from not being known to like having some sort of like fame, let's call it fame. What like just mentally what's like the challenges and the process?
It's like you asked me earlier on and about like what you do on weekends and what do you appreciate. It's also because of that journey that I'm like that and just like a homebody and things because like we spoke about Jelly Boy earlier on, and I love Jelly Boy and I love going there and I enjoy like dancing and all the cack that goes along with it and whatever. But because of everything that's happened, when I walk into that place, and obviously people are in their puss already. So I understand.
What time are you walking into this place, Simon?
Well, you know that you go to Jelly Boy like after 1 minimum. So and then like wherever you go, then it's like you that man and whatever. Then I just want to like maybe just talk to my homies and stuff like that. But because I've already have such an affinity and I've relatable and I speak to people like to every person who chats to me, I reply to them and I try to make it so regular because I don't want to have that air of anything about me. So it becomes very tough to enjoy myself without being spoken to about. Do this. What do you think about this? And what do you think of this? And then all I want to do is go along with my friends and stuff and just dance a bit cheap. But I'm not allowed to because I understand that I also have to, that I'm everybody's friend, and it's tough. And that's why I like to like keep it simple. I'd rather lamb at home with 4 ovens and 5 ovens, but not to say that I don't enjoy it as well because I want to hang out with everybody. I'm going to be having a party soon. It's called Simon Sapes, and then everybody can just come and they can apply and whatever.
Can I come, please?
Of course. But it's just going to be easy. People's going to DJ. I'm going to DJ.
Everyone watching, you're all invited.
And
all three of you.
Yeah, I just wish I could speak to everybody and have time to do everything. But I also just want to have a little time at the same time.
What I was thinking now, sorry, bro, this is way off topic. But do you remember how kak it was when you got toegesyp, right? You went out with your brothers. So there was no Uber this time, ladies and gentlemen. You just got kak gesyp. And your brothers would be like, that's cool, but you're going to have to lam in the car. You know, now you can like catch an Uber and you can go home. Like it wasn't like you have to lam in the car.
I think I made that tweet the other day, right? I spoke about that in that, like you just have to lam it. And or if you go with your brother and say, now there's a girl for you, and then you're lamming there, and then you can't do anything. Now this girl don't smack you, but you can hear you can smell and you can hear what's happening in the other room. But you must just lam now and you struck out. So like, hey bro, it's 4 o'clock, we must go. Mommy's coming home soon. Like, did you dial? I'm like, no, I was just sitting here on my phone. And my phone died because I was on mix the whole time. So now you cockboard.
We had it extremely tough, ladies and gentlemen. We had it extremely tough.
It's so lekker now. They can just Uber wherever, come home whenever.
Listen, my brother, this has been an absolute blast. Before I ask my last question, can you tell the people where they can find you?
You can just find me at Simon_Orgill on Twitter and Instagram. And then Simon on Facebook. yeah, that's it.
Okay, but let me, before I ask my last question, let me just say I'm a big fan of your work first and foremost. You're doing amazing things in the industry for our people, for our culture.
It's just siping and talking about
yeah, but
braai.
please continue and invite me to the parties. The one thing that I want to say before I ask my last question is I was very privileged to let Young headline one of our shows we had at the Baxter, right? And I'll never forget when I asked him this, similar to you, is I asked him, you like the whole fame thing and the taking pictures.
But he's famous.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying like the concept, man. But this was like two years ago or something. And he told me, away bro. He told me, Kaigi, that picture doesn't really mean much to me, but it means a lot to that bra. So I'll tell her. And I think that's testament to the type of person you are, bro. You really care about other people. You're a kind, compassionate, super chill guy. So you have my blessing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. You mean a lot to this community. You don't get that a lot. You probably get all these trolls fucking saying, I fucking hate you, But you mean a lot to
most of the time, like, it's nice. People defend me a lot. I don't ask them to, like, on Friday, there was a fight in my comment section. I'm like, can we all just please respect each other? It's Friday, can we braai? And then they were all super chilled after that. I'm like, I don't ask you to fight for me, and I just want to have a good environment. Everybody can be respected.
100%, bro. And that's the type of person that you are and what you stand for. So please just keep doing what you're doing. You are valued. You are needed in our industry. So my last question for you, Mr. Simon Orgill, content creator. How do we make this creative industry a better place?
Shit. this wasn't... I didn't even know this question's coming. But... It's really, really evolving. Like what I've noticed from the beginning of lockdown, and obviously it's because it had to be pushed to a new level, that we had to start doing this online space where people have more access to now to find your shows and to be able to do this. Obviously, purely it's because of COVID that they can't do this. But there needs to be a way where people can have, how can I say, because it's easy to find a show and to put it online, but you need to speak more connections. So you need to start working on not just your, how can I say, like your product, but your personality, and the fact that you need to adhere to more what people want to feel, not just when they listen to you, but more of how you cater to them after the fact as well. Become more humble, become more warm to these environments. And I think that from that, you'll start growing and developing more of a way where you can be as, how can I say, profitable, but profitable in your spirit as well as in your pocket. But it could be a longer lasting character of you online, as well as when this opens up to more like people in person, then you'll be justified in all the efforts that you've made. So take the steps to do that and become more than just thinking about like, money and all these things and fame, and just let people see your vulnerabilities. I don't have anything like major to say about it because again, I just do me. And it's all I'm like always about, like just making sure that I'm okay, because it plays in your mind when you have a lot of impacts with regards to like I say with regards to a lot now, but with like I have lots of
with regards to
lots of comments, lots of interactions and things, and you're trying to stay above water and all these things, but. If you're good, like make sure that you're okay to deal with everything as well. It makes you much more of a good product. I don't know.
Perfect, bro.
I don't know if I spoke so much shit there or not.
No, bro. That was well said.
But yeah,
that was wise words from a wise man and a funny guy.
I say something. I don't even do any in-person shows. I did sell at the Baxter this year.
Don't listen to what I say. Okay, bro, that was amazing. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you, brother. Keep shining. Keep doing what you're doing.
Please.
Shabba.
It's raw, baby. And it's raw, baby. And it's raw, baby. And it's raw, baby. Yeah. It's raw, baby. And it's raw, baby. And it's raw, baby. And it's raw.